up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Steven Tillman. Today we're going to be talking about shooting a window pool that is at a far distance. So in this example, as you can see here on the screen, there is a window. I'm shooting a bathroom, a very simple shot. A shot that whether you're shooting a mansion or whether you're shooting a home that's in the 90 or 100,000 price point, you have to shoot bathrooms, especially bathrooms that are small, that have some sort of entryway. This was actually a bathroom suite. So a big part of our job as photographers, and more specifically as real estate photographers, we're here to tell a story. Whether you're doing video, whether you're doing photos, your job is to capture what's there. So in this shot, I wanted to, instead of getting into the bathroom where the tub is, I shot where they can see it and be curious about it and get them to reach out to the agent. Okay, sometimes I do that. I won't capture every single little thing. Why? Because the way I bracket my pricing is that I do kind of a certain amount of square footage equals what I pretty much know that I can capture on a count of images. For instance, a smaller home, 25,000 square foot or under, I know for a fact that I can probably get 25 to 30 images and be able to capture that entire home. Why? Because I'm not getting up on every single little detail. Now, sometimes agents will request this and I charge them extra for it. So I'll charge them for just regular capture of the home. And then I will charge them for doing little detailed shots like 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, whatever the case may be, however many images you end up shooting, price it out to where maybe it's $2 to $5 per image that you shoot. I did a new build job in a community that's being built up actually into its own community, like from the ground up. They're gonna put stores, they're gonna put all kinds of retail, restaurants, shopping places, and they have a little pond there that's gonna be like they have a beach already on it. And this first home that they finished, they had me come and shoot it, but they also wanted a interior design lifestyle shot of the property. So I charged them what I would normally price out for like a portrait session because that's technically what I was doing. And they all wanted up and down shots. So the 16:9 up and down for their social and things like that. So I shot that. What you'll run into in images like this is it's far away. So because the flash is far away, it's darker. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through the process of how to get clear window pools even if you're far away from the window. That way you're not trying to go and get out of the reflection and do this and do that, and then you gotta, and it ends up adding 5, sometimes 7 to 10 more minutes. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you add that up over time, you wasted a lot of time when you could have done it a couple of shots and been done with it and worried more in post. So hopefully today's video will bring some clarity and make your life a little bit easier. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Less than 50% of y'all that watch my videos are actually subscribed to my channel. So that'd be awesome if y'all would subscribe and hit that like button. So let's start from scratch. I'm very back to the basics type of guy. So we want to take the images that we have. Our first image is the ambient shot. Our second image, as you can see right here, is our flash shot. Our third image is the window pool. Now you can see that I did another image for a window pool, and I'll show you why I did that. You can see where the light switched because I did one up here high as I could, and then another one I did low, and you'll see why when we get them in Photoshop. And then I did my whoops shot, that is my safety shot in case I did not get all of the flash out of the window by doing that from top to bottom, and I'll show you. So click on one image, shift, click the top one, right click, open with, and I do Adobe Lightroom Classic. That's where all my presets are. Go down to the bottom right, click import. So once you import them, you can hit D on your keyboard and you will go to the develop mode. So first what we want to do, if you don't have one of these, I have a link down below where you can see every piece of gear that I use, including things to help me edit faster. This Wacom tablet is phenomenal. It'll be a list of different ones. You can search on Amazon. Amazing. That just helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. So in this right here, I have, and I know because of the outside light here, I click on a white and it's going to make that severely blue. But look inside of here, which is our main place right here. It made it where it was perfect. Perfect. All the whites look white. The walls are actually the color of the paint, but out here we have this nasty color. So what can we do to help that? And this is before we do anything else. Go down here to hue and saturation. Now watch this. See this little, lack of a better term, click that, go over to where this blue is, click and hold down, and drag downward. Look at that. I barely moved that thing, and it completely changed the tone. Watch. Without, with, without, with. That right there is phenomenal. Increase contrast a little bit, bring down some blacks. Want to bring those highlights down well, I like highlights all the way down because usually light bulbs are pretty intense. So come over here. Now what we want to do is match up. We're wanting to match. So I click this over here. I want to match that. So if I push my arrow keys back and forth, I can see that it's matched up pretty good. Now I'm gonna bring my shadows up a little bit. And I also want to get that same, it was blue. You can see the color just kind of disappear. Now on flash shots, especially the outside light, because what you're doing is you're taking let's put the information on. This is 1/50th of a second. I keep my f-stop at 6.3. The entire shoot, the entire house is at 6.3 because that's what I found, at least on my camera. I use a Canon 90D. It's a pretty inexpensive setup that I use shooting multi-million-dollar homes, and I'm shooting on a less than $2,000 camera with lens and everything. Now that doesn't include lights, but that's pretty phenomenal when you consider what you can get paid in return for shooting these properties. It's pretty amazing. You don't have to have the most expensive gear out there to put out some quality products. Follow me on Instagram and you'll see the stuff I'm putting out with not that expensive of gear. It can be done, people. You can make a good living and not spend a lot of money. So when you use flash, you're gonna have the outside try to come through more. So I got these greens, got this weird looking color here. Kind of got that. I want to leave the orange color is not a bad thing. Remember the flash is there. So I'm just trying to look at the balance in the light because on one photo, I'm going to use in that room in there. The other one, I'm going to use in the room that I'm standing in. So I'm trying to find a balance between the two. It's looking pretty good. Now remember, I'm not going to use every single thing, every single piece in both images. I'm taking pieces from each image and I'm using them to blend together to make the perfect image. Now we have the window part. So what I want to do with the window part is, let's see, probably right there would be pretty good, and that one ain't bad either. So if you don't know, a flash is supposed to be daylight, which is about 55, 56 Kelvin. Like right now on this camera, I have my light set up to 56 Kelvin, my camera set up to 56 Kelvin, 5600 Kelvin. When you're shooting outside and you put your flash towards it, the blues will actually look blues in the sky, the greens will actually look green in the grass and the green on the bushes and things like that, because you're seeing, your eyes automatically adjust, which is what the camera is trying to do. It's trying to adjust on its own and match up to what we see with our eyes. So you're looking outside and your eyes are adjusting. Your camera is, because you have it on auto white balance, it's adjusting to a daylight temperature. So that's why in the inside you get a lot of oranges, and then you're trying to balance with the inside orange, and then you get a lot of blue. So orange and blue is constantly fighting against each other at each end of the white balance spectrum. So your flash is supposed to be balanced with daylight. It comes that way. That's what it's balanced with. So you're taking portraits and you can look on your white balance little presets and you can see a little lightning thing that's supposed to be for flash. And if you took it and put it on manually about 55 or 56 Kelvin, it would pretty much look exactly the same. The preset makes it where you don't have to try to dial it in. It should be matched up with your flash. Anyways, moving along. Then we have our whoops shot. So our whip shot will always be a little bit cooler. I want to make it where it looks pretty natural back there. The greens look really green. That's a actual, and you did not have to do a window pull here, but I do a window pull on every shot just because that's my style. That's what I do. Shift and click all of these. Right click on any image that you have highlighted. Then you want to go to Edit in, Open as Layers in Photoshop. This is why I personally use Photoshop and Lightroom. They talk back and forth. This is how I learned. So this is how I produce. So it will automatically import them in the order that you shot them. Pro tip, when you're shooting with flash in a scenario like this, turn your transmitter on the top of your camera that's talking from your camera to your flash, turn it off when you're doing the ambient. I turn mine off every single ambient shot because for some reason it messes with the white balance. I don't know why, but it does. So turn that off, and usually it will be a pretty good reading on your white balance. So just letting you know. So the ambient shot is the first shot that we see. So we want to cover it up. So Option or Alt, click Layer Mask, and it'll be a black. Black means hide, white means show. So we're putting a black mask to hide it for now, and we will use a white paintbrush to bring back into, we covered it up with black, we're revealing it with white, and we're bringing back the pieces that we want. So we're using our flash shot as the base shot. Now, you can see right here, there's a lot of flash looking stuff. So that's what we're gonna do with this. We're gonna take that and bring that back in and make it look natural. So now we have our flash stuff. We want to hide that. We want to hide that. I want to grab both of these. Usually it's just one flash, but I want to grab both of these, bring it all the way to the top because I want it to be at the top. I don't want anything that I paint underneath. Let me explain. Anything that I paint of the windows, I don't want it to be tainted with any kind of ambient painting above it. So if I put it above any other painting, no matter what I paint down here and I get sloppy with it, it will not affect what I did with the flash or with the window. So watch what I'm talking about. First, we'll just do, this is my, you can even label it if you want. If you kind of double click right there, you can label it, say ambient, okay? And then you can label it. If it helps you, to, especially to get started, do it. Flash. If you push B, it'll give you brush. So let's say that you did whatever color and it's all red or gray or whatever. If you push X, if you push D, it'll pop it back to white and black, and you can push X to alternate. So say you're painting over something and you revealed a little too much and you want to put back just a little bit, you push that X and make it be black again, it will hide it. Push white, it'll start to reveal again. The flow, the opacity is 100%. You want to see everything that you're doing, but the flow is different. So watch the flow up here. If you push Shift 3, it'll jump by 10. So I like to do it about 10, very, very little. I right click and I want my hardness to be all the way down. I want a very soft brush, hardness to be all the way down. So Shift 1, it moved on me. Now, above your enter key, to the left and right, there's these two bracket things that look like this. Not parentheses, but the brackets, like they're hard squares. Push that left and right and you'll see that my brush is getting bigger. I can go smaller, I can go bigger. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's do some painting stuff. Now remember, this is what it looks like. We shift and click on a mask and it'll hide it for a second. So this is what it looks like. Okay? And then here's the other picture. So what I want to do, actually I want to go, if I hold Shift and go 0.5 real quick, it'll do 5%, watch. Shift, 0.5, do 5%. Now, I'm wanting to get rid of this because that's where my flash was at. I don't want it to look flashy. Actually, let me go 10. Let me go 10%. Let's just do it. See all the changing? I think that is so cool that it does that. Get that flash looking stuff out of there. Bring back some of this down here to make it not look so flashy. Bring back don't want that. Some of you might be thinking that looks a little blue, but just wait. Get that away so it doesn't look flashy. Sometimes I go 20%. There it is. There it is. I say whoop, there it is. See, that corner kept giving me issues where it kept looking like a flash went off. I don't want that. All right. Bring some of that back. Go back to 10%. Being a little too aggressive, bruh. Now you can see some of it's still looking a little blue. Now that's okay because we're going to adjust that, because once we click Command Save, it actually will bring it back into Lightroom and be a new image. And then we can manipulate all the blues and take some of the blues out and bring some of the saturation back and the contrast and stuff. It's pretty amazing. Okay, now on flash shots, on to the next. That was pretty simple. That took what, a minute and a half, and I was playing back and forth. You can do this stuff pretty quick. We want to go to darken mode. Every flash shot on the mask, go to darken mode, darken mode, darken mode. Now watch this. Let's see if it'll do it. Now you see that? Do the same thing. This time, only. So that's not bad. I mean, it's glare from a sun, and you will have this problem all the time with dirty windows. And it's a far away shot. This is not a make or break window pool. I took time because that's just who I am. You can probably go and it'd be completely fine and nobody would ever know the difference. Now, the reason we go into darken mode and the reason you point a flash at the window, you see a lot of the window seals or a lot of the window frames will be white. When that flash pops off at a high power, it whitens the white around the window. So when you go into darken mode, it cancels out all the bright colors and the white that's around there, and darker stuff is brought forward, which is darker on the outside. So the dark is brought forward. So that's kind of the science behind, I don't know what you call it, but the reason behind it. So now in Photoshop, there's these three little lines. You click these, you go to flatten image. Yes, discard hidden layers because we don't need them. Then go to Command S. It's saving down here. Now watch this. It's going to pop in here. Brand new image. Hoopity-dappity-da. So now we can put a little more contrast into it. Now we can maybe put a little more color to it. Whatever we want to do. Put some clarity, some texture, get a little sharp, some dehaze. Maybe take a little bit of the color out of it. Or you can saturate it up some more if you want. That's completely up to you. I like to take a little bit of the vibrance out, a little bit of the saturation out, depending on how it ends up looking when I get done. As you can see here, the color cast of things, it makes almost a green looking color on the wall, which is not the actual color of the wall. So if you can pull that out a little bit, but 9 times out of 10, the agent they have no clue. So that's the finished image. I mean, from a little bathroom shot, it's not that bad because this is not a make or break image. And we have a nice looking window pool. There's nothing fancy out there. It is literally bushes and the roof of the next door house. But I'm the type of person that I always shoot the window pool unless the blinds are messed up or there's just something nasty or the agent doesn't want it in the shot, then I don't mess with it at all. So that's it. Simple enough, easy. You can do this in a couple of minutes, every single image, and be putting out some high quality products that my images, this same process that I use is the same process that I have used to get my images in magazines. Same process over and over and over again. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, make sure you give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you can see every time I put out a new video, and I will see you on the next one. Get your camera out and go shoot something. Images.